Today I'm going to show you how to make this card using this new iRock tool. The first thing we need to do for the You're So Sweet card is to make these two little cherry brads for it. I've already got one made, but I'll show you how to make the other. You're going to need a 2-inch square piece of fabric scrap that you probably have laying around. The medium size top and bottom to the brad, and your eye top. You could go ahead and use one of the templates with your fabric and do it on the wrong side of your fabric. And then I just used a white pencil and made little markings of where the template markings are. And then I can take my scissors, and it doesn't have to be very precise. I like snip off the corners just because that adds a little bit of bulk to it. And then if you notice on the template, there's all of these points. I don't do that. I just go ahead and take my scissors and make a little, almost like a fringe all the way around it, just so the fabric can bend without getting crinkled up. And okay, so I think that's pretty good. I have my eye top tool, and I have a 22 millimeter, which is the medium size brad head, and I'm going to be placing this right here onto this tip. And it may be awkward because of camera angle, but I balance it on there, and then I can take my fabric piece and go ahead and put that in between. I just want to make sure that it's all lined up in the center. So as you can see, it's on there, it's sandwiched. And then I will gently just squeeze it. You can hear it do that. And then I'm going to turn this around by pulling out and twisting. And you can see it's all gathered in there. I'm going to squeeze the sides together, just make sure it's nice and tight. And then I can push down all this fabric. And if you'd like to secure it with a little bit of adhesive, that's just fine. And then you can go ahead and take the base of your brad and the little legs can go inside of this side. You can see there's that little hole. And so the legs can just sit inside that hole. I'm going to close that side and close this side. Make sure it's centered. And once again, I can just squeeze, and you'll hear that little sound of it being pushed together. And then once again, I can pull this out and twist it around, and there's my brad. When you're finished making those two cute cherry brads, you can go ahead and set those aside, and then take out a piece of cardstock. On my cardstock, I ran it through the printer first to get the little sentiment on there, but you can always stamp that as well as your background. And then once you're ready, you can go ahead and take a piece of scratch paper and go ahead and sketch out what design you want. If you're really picky, you can go ahead and measure where you want each of the hot rocks to go. Otherwise, you can just eyeball it. And I've already transferred it onto this cardstock. I use some graphite paper, which looks like this, to do it, but you can also use a light table as well. And then once I have my design on there, I can go ahead and start adding my hot rocks where I want them to be. On this card, I went and used the regular hot rocks, which look like these crystal bling. And on the sample that I'm making today, I'm going to be using some of the glam rocks. They come in this cute, like little lip gloss tube, and if you moisten the tip right there, you're able to pick up and move each of them very easily. Okay, so then I can go ahead and finish moving these into position, and then go ahead and turn my iRock on. You just do that by pushing the switch forward and then pushing the button that's on top. Now there's two different ways that you can hold this. I like to hold it with the button facing me, and I hold it down with my thumb. You can also hold it like a pencil and push it down with your finger. Either way is correct, it's just whatever's comfortable for you. And once I let that heat up for a few seconds, I can go ahead and place it on top of each of my little glam rocks. And it really only takes a second or two for these to heat up. Once you have your hot rocks or glam rocks onto your cardstock, you can go ahead and insert your brads wherever you'd like them to go. And then turn it over and open their little legs. And then you can add some adhesive to the back of it. And layer that on top of another piece of cardstock. Just want to make sure you get it centered on there. Add some more adhesive on the back side of that. I'm layering that on another piece of cardstock. And then on the back of this cardstock, I'm going to add some foam adhesive, and that way it'll give it a little bit more of dimension. Okay, so now I'm ready to put that onto another piece of cardstock, and guess what? This isn't cardstock. This is the back of some packaging from Imaginisce. I believe this might have been stickers, but a lot of times there's really cool printing. Not a lot of times. There's always really cool printing on the back of your Imaginisce packaging, so go ahead and hold on to that. I always hold on to it, especially if it's one like this where I know I can definitely have a use for it again. And then I can just go ahead and center my little work of art right onto there. And then I'm going to apply adhesive onto the back of that. You want to be pretty generous with your adhesive because you're definitely adding some weight on there. And then I took just a piece of white cardstock and folded it into a card shape. I'm just going to mount this right onto the front of that. And there you go. There's your card. One with hot rocks and one with glam rocks. This is Erin Bassett for Imaginisce.